me tell you something. It can be a serious situation. Sometimes I'm very yang. I think I'd actually make a better man than most men I've ever met. But I'm not a man. And because I'm a woman, it has to deal with the fact that I would have been a better man than most men I've ever met. I'm a very unhappy woman. It's unfortunately the truth. I can't even pretend to be a lesbian anymore. I just can't. I mean, oh, I compete with other lesbians? It's not as satisfying. Anyway, apparently I got some sort of call that somebody's are they accusing you of being a prostitute again? Are you retired? They want to say you're a comfort person. I mean, these are real things. People were actually sexually violated in the course of war, and people were actually attempted for extortion into acts of sex terrorism. I know how sex terrorism works in a variety of ways. Trust me. You know what? How do you get into the mind of a sex terrorist? How do you recruit sex terrorists? Where are the ideal areas for recruitment of sex terrorists? I mean, if they can afford to actually engage in the kind of scenarios that have a long term yield in operations of sex terrorism, then they're probably some of the world's most prolific financiers of other kinds of terrorism. So that's why I refuse any longer to take anybody's conversations about civil rights or workers' rights regarding sex terrorism under the auspices of sex work or prostitution or the sex trade seriously. And especially if you're trying to create a production line of women or men or trans people agreeing to cooperate with a corporatized manufacturing based on sexual performance. Prostitution's illegal. Sex trafficking is illegal. And if you start there, I know exactly where you're willing to go. So stop trying to couch this as if it is about the ladies or even the boys. If somebody's trying to compel you to agree to engage with them in acts of sex terrorism, you must resist. If you're trying to organize people to engage in acts of sex terrorism, you know better. Other than that, your sexuality is none of my business. My sexuality is none of your business. And if you try to make my sexuality your business, I have a right to respond with lethal force. And so does everybody else you're trying to pimp. These should be very simple standards, and I don't understand why every night, pretty much every night, you need the same reinforcement. But I'm going to do you a favor. This is 4 minutes and so far 8 seconds long. I'm going to go to 4:15, and anytime you need it, this is here.